Good evening, everybody. Rainy day here in the state of Florida. Welcome back to the Matthew and Carlene channel. Today, we're going to go over more in detail about how men in droves are avoiding women at work and choosing that they're not willing to date their female coworkers anymore. Excuse me. Even if the company actually does allow it or offers some kind of safety regulations for it. Now, let's be honest here. This has been a very hot button topic. It did not happen overnight. It actually happened in stages. Now, I can't say names here of any corporations for legal purposes and for YouTube channel purposes, but imagine this. You are working at a corporation, at a company. You told your female coworkers, hey, you're not my type. You didn't get into any real specifics. You just don't want drama. You just wanted to go to work and go home. However, instead of that answer being accepted, your female coworkers start doing the exact same thing HR and so many other human resources department have been keep telling all the men not to do, and start demanding an explanation. You refuse to give them an explanation because, hey, you don't have to. This ends up leading to your female coworkers constantly bombarding you with a bunch of religious-based allegations of feeling uncomfortable, even though that is a very overly broad statement that could literally mean just about anything. Well, at the same time, your managers who are more focused on performance results, they see the results you're getting done at work, they want to help increase your career at that work location, which seems all good. Except when your female coworkers notice this, the ones who you told them you're not my type, when they see this, they get infuriated and they start religiously targeting you. Because, hey, this clearly puts into question what they've always been told, that a man needs a woman in order to be the best version of himself. When really, this kind of debunks that. But because they're not willing to accept that and they're starting to just religiously target you, you have to transfer to another line of work. Not because you didn't enjoy your work, but because, like, hey, it's becoming a very hostile environment. Managers don't know what to do. They don't. Imagine yourself in this situation where you're actually working at some place. One of your male coworkers starts dating a female coworker. For some reason, that female coworker decides she doesn't like you. No explanation. You are advised by your fellow coworkers to talk to her about it. She says a bunch of very hurtful things to you. Like a bunch of very big-time insults. You called her a jerk out of reflex. As a result of that, this female coworker very much leads up a full-fledged mob attack at you. Her male coworker, that's her boyfriend, ends up assaulting you. HR has to step in. And get this, HR ends up firing the male coworker, but not the female coworker who led the whole thing. You got away scot-free. But now, knowing that your location wants to accept that, they're decided to violate the chain of command of what HR decided and start relentlessly targeting you. And you have to transfer now. You do. Because, hey, you're being targeted now because you had the audacity to hold a woman. Because you're a man who had the audacity to hold a female coworker accountable for her behavior. That's literally what happened. Imagine yourself in this situation where you dedicated 8 or 10 years at our current work location. 8 or 10 years. And for some reason, when an opportunity for promotion comes up, you applied for it, you have all the experience necessary, you don't get it. Like your boss gives you instead of giving you a legit answer for why he didn't pick you, he comes up with a bunch of hypothetical scenarios and overly broad statements. While at the same time, another female coworker of yours who works in the exact same place, hey, in order to get your female coworkers to stabilize their emotions about the myth of this gender pay gap, you decide to give her the promotion, even though she literally only has 3 years. She has a fraction amount of the experience you have as a male coworker. This ends up creating a very serious situation that nobody knows how to deal with, where your work location is losing way too many people who have proven to be, quite frankly, essential assets. The men at your work location, they're opting out because they now see there's no future here for them. The standards for higher up positions is just, for them as men, is just way too far out there. It's not reachable. The female worker employees, they're all trying to transfer too now, like they are, because, hey, when the men leave, they're the ones who have to take on the workload. The men don't take that workload with them. They do not. And like I said, nobody knows what to do because you would think that the solution to this would overrule that other boss's decision and give that guy the promotion. Sadly, not so much. Because, hey, that guy now has a cut and dry documentation evidence of the real reason why you're doing this now, why you're trying to offer him this now, and he's going to use that as a very big piece of leverage to negotiate pay. You can't really afford for him to move on or transfer to another position. You can't, because that means you can no longer keep a lid on what actually happened. You can't. Word is going to spread. You can't fire him either. You honestly can't, because if you do, guess what? That will be pretty much a documentational confession of everything he's said, and you could take that to social media and reveal it to everybody. As for the remaining female coworkers, because of all this, well, got news for you. When it comes to work-based, you're now entirely at this male coworker's mercy. As a result of this, he now has way too much leverage at your work location, like he does. So you have to transfer either way. Imagine this situation. There's a female coworker who just doesn't like you being successful. She makes allegations saying that, like, hey, this guy is making me feel comfortable. You're called into your boss's office, or HR's office, about a female coworker accusing you of making her feel uncomfortable. You ask a very simple question, which is, hey, making someone feel uncomfortable is a very overly broad statement that can literally mean just about anything. It literally can be. I cannot read people's minds. Can you please define make women feel uncomfortable? Female coworker takes your boss as well as the takes a huge step back, as if they've never been asked this question before. They try to recover and say, "Oh, you know, man, we're not asking you to read their minds. No one can do that. We're asking you to try to be better at reading your social cues." Then you say, social cues are different for every single human being on the entire planet. There is no possible way for me to factually or logically identify that. Can you please defy reading social cues? You take another huge step back because, like, hey, this person's never been asked that question before either. They never have been. They really haven't. Your boss or HR goes in trying to recover from this and say, "Okay, Matthew, you're clearly speaking multiple languages here," and you say, "We're both speaking the English language. How can you be qualified for a lead position at this company if you cannot identify when both people are speaking literally the exact same language?" Your boss or HR's mouth drops. Yeah. Because you now flip the narrative to where they're the ones in the defensive seats trying to defend their career. Because apparently they thought that it would be so easy to declare you guilty till proven innocent for being born a boy, they could have a straight up one-sided conversation with you. To the point where, hey, they didn't really prepare themselves to answer very basic and simple questions that they should have. Their case was so weak, it literally had no leg to stand on. It literally did not. Yeah. And now a bunch of women at work are expecting, because of the feminist movement, are expecting to put up with this and date you anyways? And for what? Like, why are we being offered to do this? Because, is it sex? Well, I got news for you ladies. You have kind of overestimated the value of that. You really have. Point is, a lot of men don't want to do this anymore because the reward to risk ratio does not make it worth it. The rewards of dating your female coworkers right now, they do not exceed the risk. They literally do not. They don't. Don't believe me? Well, try going out doing this. Try going to a bunch of women and try asking them a very simple question. Why should a man marry you? I tried doing that, and here in the West with some Western women, as well as the feminist movement, I couldn't get a single one to raise their hands and come up with an answer for that. I also asked a question, like, okay, you claim that women are being oppressed and men have it easy? Alright. What law is preventing you ladies from doing whatever it is you want that's not 100% biologically related? I get crickets for that. Like I really do. No one wants to answer that at all. Yeah. And finally, imagine yourself in this situation. You're just doing your job. You're building revenue for this corporation. All of a sudden, you get an email of a mandatory meeting. All the men are there. You have a woman there making a PowerPoint presentation, trying to talk about how important it is about not doing sexual harassment at the work location, how we should identify toxic masculinity, and etc. about women being victims about something. And you asked a very simple question of saying, ma'am, I literally never done any of these things. Why am I here? She gets a shock. She doesn't know. She was not prepared to answer that question either. And that's really the heart of the issue right there. Because of the feminist movement, so many men are being held collectively responsible for the actions of just less than 1% of the male population. We're sick of it. We just really are. We're not willing to put up with it anymore. And what shocks me about all this, is that if men were to do the exact same thing to women, the exact same thing, like literally to do all of this stuff to women, we would be called sexist. We would be called misogynist. We would be accused of discriminating women. But for some reason, if the women do it, it's A-okay. The double standards of this is just plain disgusting. It really is. And I think it's about time someone called the women out on this. I really think it's about time someone just flat out said it.